602. We'll say 602 because I'm going to start a little bit back. Mars. The final frontier. Closest to Earth in our solar system. Surely life must exist on it? No. There's nothing. There's nothing on Mars. So, we put people there. About 100 of them. Maybe 101 because someone was sneaky. And now it's 40 years later. 40 years have happened since I started reading this book. John got murdered about 20 years ago, probably. I don't know, about. Approximately. John has been dead for a while. Well, the first people landed on Mars in 2027. So we still have time. So in 2027, they landed on Mars and they started building the first community. And then now there's like thousands of people on Mars, mostly immigrants. So we're working on building a space wall to stop immigrants from going to Mars. Because Mars is full of immigrants and they're like, no more immigrants, please. Only original Martians, please. So, and now many people are angry. Lots of people are angry for many different reasons, and they're killing each other, and they're destroying Mars. And they just killed Arcady. And like probably 1 million people or some shit. I don't know, thousands. Thousands of people are dead because they blew up the fucking space elevator. An important part of the Martian economy was the space elevator. And there was probably like 1,000 people on it, including Phyllis. But Phyllis was a big Karen, so nobody cares. But also Peter was on it, and then those are basically the only people we know. And Peter was Anne's boyfriend, so we are sad about that. Hello, Scotty Fox. Whoops. Okay, I bet you're all fully updated now. Best summary ever. Thank you. Her kid? Oh. Oh, that's even sadder. Damn. I thought it was like her husband. I don't remember who Peter was. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is dead. Oh, she's with Spencer. Okay, damn, that's even more sad. I get it now. That's her child? Her child was on the elevator? Oh, God. That made that party really awkward. So yeah, they went to a party with a bunch of cultists in the fucking ruins of a Martian city. And the cultists were like, it's basically Christmas. And then they blew up the space elevator and did drugs. As this group of 6 of the original 100 watch in horror and just have to like weekly like haha nervous laughter, what the fuck, at this cult party that is basically responsible for blowing up the space elevator and possibly responsible for most of the terrorism. And there's a lot of crazy shit going on Mars right now. There's no communication with Earth. There's no communication on the planet because they're like scrambling the fucking radios. So people can't talk to each other. They've been blowing up cities, popping bubble domes. They've been flooding. They've been breaking open aquifers to like... Mars has oceans now. Mars has oceans now, and the cities are on fire or underwater. Or on fire underwater. And that's where we are now. And Frank killed John, by the way. Don't let him fool you. Some of y'all don't know who Frank is, but he killed John. And now they're all hanging out together. It's been 40 years and they've earthedied Mars. I don't remember where we were. Oh yeah, and Frank is very sus. He's like, I have links with UNOMA, which is the United Nations Organization of Martian Affairs. And somehow his radio is working, which I find very sus. I don't know, but he also seems very upset and stressed out by everything that's going on. What did I say? Did I say he's like the dog that caught the car last time? I think that's very true. He's very stressed by what's going on, but I also feel like he's somehow definitely involved. He's like grinding his teeth, like sweating. He's gonna die of a fucking heart attack. He's like, all according to plan, as blood comes out of his eyeballs. Like, okay. Once or twice he went back to his screen and contacted these groups. Immediately on being, occasionally, once or twice he went back to, oh my god, I can't figure out where to start. Aside from that, he was brusque with all of them and completely uninterested in how they had managed to make it to Cairo. His life's work is on fire and shitting itself. He's nonplussed, to say the least. Yeah. Oh, I guess it would make sense that he has, like, resources that other people don't. I don't know if anyone else is gonna notice, but... he only wanted to know whom they had met and where, and how well those scattered parties were doing, and what they intended. Welcome, Yunkin Drungalist. You're literally just on time. Once or twice he went back to his screen and contacted these groups immediately on being informed of their location. He contacted these groups immediately upon being informed of their location. An ability that stunned the travelers, who had assumed that everyone was cut off as they had been. As cut off as they had been. UNOMA links, Frank explained, running a hand over his swarthy jaw. They're keeping some channels open for me. Why? Sachs said. Why? Or why? Why? Don't worry, I'm just losing my mind. Thank you, chat. Why? Because I'm trying to stop this. I'm trying for a ceasefire, then a general amnesty, then a reconstruction, joined by all. But under whose direction? UNOMA's, of course, and the national offices. But UNOMA agrees only to a ceasefire? Sachs ventured. While the rebels only agree to the general amnesty. Frank nodded curtly. And neither like the reconstruction joined by all. But the current situation is so bad, they may go for it. 4 more aquifers have blown since the cable came down. They're all equatorial. And some people are saying this is cause and effect. Anne shook her head. and Frank looked pleased to see it. They were broken open, I was pretty sure. They broke one at the mouth of Chasma Borealis, and it's pouring onto the Borealis dunes. The weight of the polar cap probably puts that one under a good bit of pressure, Anne said. Do you know what happened to the Acheron group? Sax asked Frank. No, they've disappeared. It might be like with Arcady, I'm afraid. I feel like I'm reading like shit. Frank sees money. I might have given Frank too harsh of an introduction in the summary today. But I did want to say that though. I don't really know what his game is, you know? Hello, Itaku. Thank you for 75 months. Excuse me. I feel like this is going off every 2 weeks. Yeah, that, like, accurate. Like, didn't I just say this? Like, it's always on Monday book club, too. So that makes it, maybe that makes it feel, like, shorter. That's awesome, Genia Genia. Yeah, I got it on my trip to England. Paid £5. And they let me put it in me pocket. Oh yeah, did you get tickets to the Sky Garden? Oh damn. Burger Graveyard, thank you for 26 months and it's tier 3. Wow. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, good to see you all. I will send thoughts and prayers to those of you who need them. All the aquifers are equatorial, and some people are saying it's cause and effect. Anne shook her head at this, and Frank looked pleased to see it. They were broken open, I'm pretty sure. They broke one at the mouth of Chasma Borealis, and it's pouring out onto the Borealis dunes. The weight of the polar cap probably puts that one under a good bit of pressure, Anne said. Do you know what happened to the Acheron group? Sax asked Frank. No, they've disappeared. It might be like with Arcady, I'm afraid. He glanced at Nadia, pursed his lips unhappily. I should get back to work. But what's happening on Earth? Anne demanded. What does the UN have to say about all this? Mars is not a nation, but a world resource, Frank quoted heavily. They're saying that the tiny fraction of humanity that lives here can't be allowed to control the resources, when the human material base as a whole is so deeply stressed. That's probably true, Nadia heard herself say. Her voice was harsh, a croak. It felt like she hadn't spoken in days. Frank shrugged. Sax said, I suppose that's why they've given the transnationals such a free hand. It seems to me there's more of their security than the UN police. That's right, Frank said. It took the UN a while to agree to deploy their peacekeepers. They don't mind having the dirty work done by someone else. Of course not. And Earth itself? Anne asked again. Frank shrugged. The group of 7 seems to be getting things under control. He shook his head. It's hard to say from here. It really is. He went to his screen to make more calls. The others went off to eat, to clean up, to sleep, to catch up on friends and acquaintances, on the rest of the first 100, on what news there was from Earth. The flags of convenience had been destroyed by attacks from the have-nots in the South. But apparently the transnationals had fled the group of 7 and had been taken in and defended by the 7's giant militaries. The 12th attempt at a ceasefire had held for several days now. Oh, the news from Earth. Hold on, I'm gonna get a refill on my drink. BRB.